you that video back.
What if I told you all you knew was an illusion, confusion untrue? They say the pages of history are written by those who claim victory, controlling minds for 2,000 years, kept us in line by stoking our fears. No longer will we hide who we are. We're stronger together by far. We are witches, we shall rise from the earth into the skies. Unite.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing this evening? It is Within the Cauldron podcast. Thank you all for joining us. I'm here with my beautiful sister, Chrissy and Amy. And we have a wonderful guest tonight, Jason Swarr.
Hello.
So I have to tell you about him. Terror trader and horror enthusiast. Jason
Yes.
Swarr is a retired U.S. Marine veteran, entrepreneur, and creative professional known for turning a lifelong passion for horror culture into a successful business. After serving a 20-year military career, including time in reconnaissance and military freefall instruction, he continued working in specialized training roles before moving into entrepreneurship. Alongside work in photography and creative media, he co-founded Terror Trader with his wife, Gina, building it into Arizona's year-round horror marketplace and a hub for horror fans, artists, collectors, and makers. Swarr is recognized for combining military discipline, customer experience, and a strong community-first approach to create immersive experiences for horror enthusiasts. Welcome, Jason. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for that intro. That was great.
Yes,
Tip your servers. I'm here all week.
yeah.
Right?
Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
We welcome you.
Thank you.
I'm excited
Thank
about
you.
hearing about the haunted doll.
Oh, of course you are.
I'm intrigued now. You caught my interest.
No, since the haunted doll says love you.
Let's go.
Okay.
Well, Jason,
Go ahead and get started, honey.
you spent 20 years in the Marine Corps, including reconnaissance and freefall instruction. How did that
Yes.
experience shape the way you approach creativity in business today?
Well, great question, because a lot of people don't think that a military career could. What does it do for you, right? How does that, especially in the horror world, or just being an entrepreneur or whatever. And I always tell people, first off, being like an entrepreneur, being your own boss, having your own business is the hardest thing you could ever do. I'm telling you right now, it is the most rewarding. I mean, it's awesome. When I just literally left the shop, if those who haven't been to Terror Trader, you can look it up, but it's about 6,000 square feet of just mayhem, monsters, 70 plus vendors that sell this spookiest stuff. We have an oddities museum. We have all types of stuff. It's crazy, right? I won't have to go too far into detail, but it's really fun. But it is rewarding and it's fun. But man, you don't have discipline, and if you don't, I can lay in bed and like, hey, you're your own boss, right? You can wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like going to work today. Well, I don't eat then, and neither does my vendors and all that stuff. So you have to. It's sometimes I wish I just had a 9 to 5. I swear to God, but and in the Marines, my 12 years out of my 20, I was a reconnaissance Marine, which reconnaissance Marines are, I don't know how to explain it in the civilian world, but kind of like the adrenaline junkies of the Marine Corps. We're the guys who are jumping out of airplanes, diving in the water, a lot of demolitions and all types of stuff. And I found it because, I'm a monster kid from the 80s. No one in my family's ever been in the military. I was a skate punk more than anything. I was doing in the 80s, and I was very anti-government, anti-everything, just as a punk would be. But I was so anti my parents and authority that I was like, no one's been in the military. Watch this. I'm going to join, right? Crazy. Dumb. That's the mentality I had, right? So, but I found out within a listener or two that the reconnaissance field holds all the skate punk, all the guys that are out there, the adrenaline drunkies, and just the guys who do crazy stuff. We all kind of got we didn't really fit in with the rest of the. Because you think Marines, you think really disciplined, just high and tight haircuts. But there's always guys with the longer hair, hands in their pockets. But they're usually the guys that are the ones that you can just, like I said, toss out of airplanes. We don't care, do whatever. stick up on a hill watching bad guys out in the behind enemy lines and stuff. We love that stuff. So I found my tribe, I guess you want to call it, with those guys, and you learn a different type of discipline, and it's one that actually helped me in cross over from the military into the civilian world. And especially in that field, because you have to be creative. You have to think outside the box. Because once again, you're doing dangerous stuff, and you got to think of last minute split second decisions. I always laugh. When I was an instructor teaching guys what we call Halo, everybody's heard of high altitude, low opening, or even Hey-Ho, which is high altitude, high opening. We jump out at 25,000 feet, at some points, and sometimes you immediately deploy your parachute and you travel 45 minutes on the canopy with everybody else at night with NVGs and all types of crazy stuff. But sometimes, you're learning this, you're just jumping out of airplanes. And I always tell people, my students, I'm like, look, every time we exit this aircraft, you're committing suicide. It's just, we change our mind at 4,000 feet, and then you get that little laugh and again, like, wait, what? And I'm like, all right, go, you're next. So you got to be a little bit crazy and you got to be a little bit creative. And I think that actually helped me transition into the civilian world and what I've actually into photography business, which I own a commercial photography studio for 8 years prior to TerraTrader. But even in opening TerraTrader, because one, I had to adapt to a whole different world, a whole different audience, and two, I didn't think it'd work. And so you got to have a screw loose or two up here, because I invested my life savings into a shop that hasn't been done yet in Phoenix area, and I'm just crossing my fingers that it worked. And I've always been that way. I've never been afraid to take a leap like that. And if it fails, then I learned. I always say I didn't, I don't really fail. I just learned, and with TerraTrader, it worked. It worked really well. So to the point
great store.
Thank you. Where other shops are now popping up in the Valley that have seen our success, and we've kind of showed people that this horror Halloween world can actually work in the desert, which it doesn't seem like it should, but it will. It does, and it's a good time. So I lean back on my military experience constantly. We have a saying at work, and I'm not a hard boss. I'm not really. I'm really easy, but I always say, guess what? If you're tired, do it tired. And we have to get the mission accomplished, right? Whether it's an event, whether it's a convention. Whatever. People are relying on TerraTrader, on us, our employees, myself, my manager, all the guys to show them a good time. It's nothing in TerraTrader. I always say that, and sometimes I bite myself in the ass by saying this. Nothing is a need out of TerraTrader. It's a want, right? Which, in other words, you got a grocery store. I got to eat. You got to eat. We got to buy laundry detergent. We got to do all that stuff, right? We have to do that. The horror world, the paranormal, all that, that's a need. It's a want. It's a desire, right? It's not a need. It's a desire. And so you have to work extra hard to convince people to spend their money, or hard-earned money, especially these days where it's a little tough on these things. But we did it, and I think that, once again, Red, you've been in there, right? You've seen it, and it's a fun shop. And I want people when they walk in, they be like, "Oh, damn, I'm going to be here for hours," and then just starts, and that's what I love. So so the military crossover, believe it or not, it does help me. It does. It pushes me every morning to get out there and and once again to have a different type of discipline, but more on the fun side and entertainment side. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, totally makes sense. And it's a great store for everyone out there. In case you're in Arizona, it's in Mesa, Arizona. So look it up.
Yeah. We're the only one out there.
That. Yeah. Cool. So what is the strangest thing that has ever came into your shop?
Ooh.
Like the strangest item.
Okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to even tell this, but whatever. Right. We'll say. Okay. So I get a lot of strange things. I'm talking daily, and I wish I had my manager here, Melda, who's a phenomenal person, or any of my employees, because they'll have 1,000 stories. But one that really stuck out to me was great. So, we buy stuff. TerraTrader, that's the word. We buy stuff. We trade. We do all that stuff, right? So a lot of people will bring stuff in, like, hey, you want to buy this and this and that. Well, one day, 4 people came in, and they didn't look like horror fans, anything like that. It had a couple in the back and then 2 in the front, and they're holding a box. And they're like, hey, do you buy stuff? I'm like, of course, what do you got? So they open the box, and I see an urn. I'm like, cool. I bring out the urn. We buy urns all the time. And I'm looking, I screw the top, and I'm like, I screw the top back on. I'm like, there's someone in here.
Yeah.
And they're like, and immediately the 2 in the back go, that's our Aunt Sharon. We don't like Aunt Sharon. She's been in a closet for 3 years. And then the
Poor
person in
Sharon.
front was like, shut up, like, we're trying to sell this to them. And they're like, they're having a conversation. I'm like, okay, guys, this is crazy. So, look, I said, I can't buy a body, but I can buy the urn, and what's in it is what's in it. And they're like, fine. I go, well, the urn's worth about $50, so I'll give you $50. And they didn't even hesitate. They're like, I'll take it. So I bought a human. That sounds horrible, by the way, right? And then they immediately took the $50 and bought booty shorts, right? I think it says gore horror or something on the back, right? And then they left happy, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, that's the circle of life, okay? You try to make a difference in the world. You try to do something. You're however old Aunt Sharon was, right? Maybe 80 years old. She tried to, and then you end up getting your body sold to a horror shop for a pair of booty shorts. So never take life too serious, because that's where you probably might end up, So
Pauline, I'm gonna have to talk about this on TikTok tonight.
I think you do. That
It's gonna be
is
the
so
story
funny.
of the
yeah, it was insane. And so I rehomed her. I actually, in fact, we have the receipt that we sold Sharon to a very good collector that now she's in a great centerpiece in an Audie's collection and all that stuff. But I kept the receipt for the first human body I ever sold.
Oh yeah, you never know. Somebody comes back and like, hey, my sister sold my brother or sold my sister. I need her back or whatever,
It was weird. It was like, okay, I got. So
It's really making me think twice about being cremated.
So that's what I want to tell people, because a buried body is way harder to dig up and sell to me, but it's not impossible. Just let you know, anything's possible,
Well, not in this day and age, because I used to be married to one, so I know how in the funeral world. I know how they bury people, and way more than I ever wanted to know in my entire life.
It's funny, and I've learned a lot myself. Okay, a lot of funeral homes will pull up to a TerraTrader. When they got old stuff they want to get rid of or whatever. I love it when I see a hearse pull up. When the hearse pulls up, I'm like, oh, get the money, guys, get the money. It's coming. And I've bought old, embalming machines. I bought what they call, I don't know the technical term, but it's like a show coffin. In other words, if you are getting cremated, but they want to show your body first, they put you in the coffin, maybe can see, but then they pull you out, but they'll reuse that coffin a certain amount of times. And it's hundreds, I think, but eventually it wears out. They sell it. So I actually have a show coffin that probably they said 500 plus bodies in it, in my store, so that's a little spooky as well. It's fun, but yeah, what's that?
I think it's cool.
Oh, yeah, I think it's cool too. I mean, we're a horror shop. I shouldn't have anything that's not scary and kind of spooky, right? But yeah, funeral homes pull up. It's great. I've gotten some of the best stuff from them. It's amazing. And like I said, I clear out their old stuff that they don't need anymore and all that stuff, because that's one thing, this whole thing kind of started. I don't know if the backstory, and I may be jumping on ahead of you guys. So if I do, just you can slap me around. And
because that was going to be one of the questions, is like, what was the spark that made you say Arizona, needed a year-round horror store? So yeah.
Well, great. Okay. So it all started, I was an oddity collector, in the Marines. I actually started, we back out. In the 80s, as a kid, I got lucky to grow up in the 80s, I always say, because for being a horror fan and a monster kid, 70s and 80s was probably the best, right? I mean, every week there was a new horror movie coming out. In fact, I'm spoiled, honestly. I mean, I look back and I would walk down the street and I'm like, Friday the 13th part 6. I'll see it later. And now I look back, I'm like, how did I miss? Why did I go to that? Or whatever. So super crazy. But I was started, I've always been into horror. I wanted to open a horror shop as a young, 18-year-old, 19, whatever. But, you're broke. You got no money. I'm from West Virginia. You could either go into coal mines, join the military, or just do meth. It's your choice, So I chose B, obviously. But I always wanted to be a collector. I always wanted to do that stuff. Didn't happen. And I was like, okay, but I had in the back of my head. So in the Marines, you travel a lot. You see the craziest countries. And so I would slowly pick up things here and there in my oddities collection. Especially I did a lot of time in Southeast Asia and all that stuff, in Africa, tons of time in Africa. And then, but the final straw, I say, was I was having a pretty decent collection at home. My wife she's into it. She's cool with everything to a point. Okay. I never forget. I got this human torso from it was from Denmark or something. It was in Europe, and it came in, and it's a skeleton and body. And I was so proud. I'm like, finally got a whole human torso, and I had it on my kitchen table. My wife comes home, and I'm like, Gina, check this out. This is the coolest thing ever. And she just looked, and she's like, okay, you need to get a store, because this effing thing needs to get off my kitchen table. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess this is not what we eat here. Okay, so anyway, poor girl. So I went to, store. I think antique malls. Maybe I can get a booth in an antique mall. So I went to a local place here called Brass Armadillo, which is a huge antique store. It is, I don't know, 20,000 square feet. Anyway, it's a couple of them. And I was like, I'll take a booth, please. And they're like, oh, it's a 1 year wait. I'm like, what? 1 year? All right. Well, screw you. I went to someone else. Went to another antique store. 6 month wait, 8 month wait. Everybody had waits. And so a little light bulb came in my head, or maybe Uncle Fester in my mouth, it came on. I was like, holy shit, I'm just going to do my own, why not? So I'm just going to make an antique mall, but everything's got to be super creepy. I can sell my own stuff. And then that is where the idea came from. And so we did. We got a 2,500 square foot, I say small, but 2,500 square foot spot, thinking this is way too big. No one's going to come to this thing, And then I went to a local convention, and we just kind of I didn't suitcase. I actually bought a booth. But I'm like, anybody want to just test out this thing with me? We're going to just, and asking vendors, and out of 50 vendors, 12 of them said yes. So I'm like, I'll open with 12, And so we did. In fact, I always challenge people. I go back to my YouTube channel and look at our very first video, and it's a walkthrough of our store. And Red, you've been there. It's day and night. It was so empty. I was like, it's almost embarrassing. Like, oh God, don't look at this video. But but immediately it took off. I knew right on our opening night where the store it looked like a rock concert. I'm like, there's horror. I knew there's horror fans here, and you know how we are. Horror fans, we're introverts. We hide. We come out of the woodwork when there's a movie, then we go back, right? But there was nothing built in a city of 6 million, probably Phoenix proper. There was nothing there. You get your spirit stores that come in every year, no problem, right? And actually,
but they're not really horror stores per se.
Correct. Halloween, based. They have horror elements in it, and it's manufactured stuff. Sometimes there's a need for that, and then we sell manufactured stuff like our masks and stuff like that sometimes. But I like the homegrown stuff. I like the stuff that is made by our bare hands. There's a little bit more love and blood and sweat and tears in these things, and so I thought our business model would be better. I thought it would be. To find out it's not better, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't compete with Spirit Halloween, right? I mean, there are 1,500 stores across America. I think they just bought Spencer's of all things. So you know how big that is. So it's crazy. But I figured if we did something different enough, and then we made it to where it's not just a shopping experience, and it's more of a photo op horror experience. You're walking into sets. You're walking into different, even like you walk into the Oddities Tomb, it's day and night compared to the feeling you walk into the regular store, So I wanted different emotions to go up and down as you walk through this thing. You have a little video store. I know it hits people's nostalgia button every time. You're like, wow, this is like a video store in the 80s. It is. I literally modeled it after the video store that got me into horror. My video, shout out to Video Barn, they're dead and gone, probably burnt down. But back in the 80s, that was a great store, Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot I had behind me. That was another thing. Look, we all love those days. I know it. You cannot say going Friday nights to a Blockbuster was the funnest thing ever, And I say I watched more movies back then because you know, when you're surfing and you're doing the streaming thing, you don't like 5 minutes, I'm done, right? But
Yeah.
back in those days, one, you spend an hour walking through the store. That's time, right? Two, I pay for these 3 crappy movies. I'm going to watch them. I don't care. I
Right.
paid $3.99. Let's go. You know. So no matter how bad it is, you power through it. You know. And I felt like I watched more movies back then, and I love that. So you know where I found this thing? I'm all over the place, guys. If you don't know this, so anyway, I jump all over the place. I was looking through. Oh God, it was probably like OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, and it was a guy said, there's a broken old sign, a Blockbuster sign outside a dumpster. Come get it for free. And I'm thinking all you said was a corner of a broken piece. In fact, you can't really tell, but up here, where is it up?
Yeah.
There's a broken piece up here. That's all I saw. I show up this place. It's downtown, weird Phoenix. I thought I was going to get robbed. I probably was. I got in there quick and got out. It was a giant marquee that was hanging at the front. And the guy was like, yeah, just take it. I want it off my property. I'm like, absolutely. So I got that thing for free. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's sitting in my house. It's just sitting here behind me. I don't know, but it brings back good memories, you know, just to see that. I miss those days of old video stores and all that stuff. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you go to the store and you see stuff like that. You see the stuff that's going to hit that nostalgia button. And I want that to happen to people, whether you're into horror or not. I always say, if I get you in the door, I got you. I got you, or I got a family member for life, you know? And that's how when we build this store, I go, I want it to be that fun and that cool, you know? We're never going to be perfect. We're going to try to, you know, and if you've been to our store a lot, I change it like every month because I got weird OCD. I just can't sit there and look at something for a month. So I change it. And it's fun sometimes because people walk in like, what happened to your store? It's like, this is different, you know? And all this stuff. And I'm like, yes, I got you. All right. But it's always somebody who walks in by accident because we do show up like in Google as under antiques. And that's my funnest. That's my favorite part when it's snowbird season in Arizona. If those who don't know who snowbird is who watch this, it's the winter visitors, you know, that come from the Bible Belt states and Canada and all this stuff. And I love it when
they call them the short Q-tips.
Yes. But I
because
can see
you always see them driving down the road here in Phoenix, and you go,
Oh.
wait, is there somebody behind that steering wheel? And it's
Oh my
like
God.
you just see a little top of the white head.
It's so good. Yeah. The second I see a walker coming up my little to the door, I'm like, okay, here we go. And they walk in, and immediately you just see like the eyes get big, and they're like, and I'm like, you're looking for antiques, and they're like, yeah. I go, we got them. I make them go to the oddities too, every one of them. I don't care. Why not? You made it here. And let's just say 80% are like, thank you, sir. We're leaving now. But there's always the 20% going, oh, yes, I'm home. You know, so I'm like, so you got to fish on them a little bit. You got to get them out there. You know, you got to show them some things. But it's always fun to see the snowbirds come in. And I've only been lectured a few times, you know, that I'm going to hell. I'm like, I got you. Thank you. You know, and all this. But it's, you know, it's fun. It's fun, you know, because I know not everybody's into this, you know. It's a very niche market and all that stuff. But I've turned a lot of people. That were just either not really horror fans and into diehard horror fans. And that right there makes me proud. It makes me very proud. You know, I give them top 10 lists to go down, you know, and all that stuff. And that's another thing, you know, we get quite a bit when people come in and they're like, okay, I'm new into horror. What movie should I be watching? Now you can run.
That's a good question. That's what I was going to ask you. If I walk into your store and I'm a fan and I'm going to ask you, show me your favorite movie or tell me about your favorite movie. So what would that favorite movie be?
So, and this is where the horror world is crazy because what my favorite movie would be and your favorite movie, it may be 180. It could be totally, you know, if you look at, I always tell people, Google how many subgenres are in horror. And that list, it just doesn't stop. It's like the Dead Sea Scrolls. You're like, oh my God, right? Which I love that. You know, because if you do that in any other, let's say, romantic comedies, you got a list this big. You know, drama, you may have a subgenre list this big, but horror, forget it. We're going all night, right? It's different stuff. So, what my top 10 list or my favorite movie list is definitely going to be different than everybody else's. I'm an 80s slasher guy. Okay, I cut my teeth very right off the bat with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In fact, that was an accident. There was a video barn guy who I always tell the stories. Anybody who knows us, I've heard it 400 times. But I was going in looking for a copy of E.T. I was a young boy, right? Maybe 10 or 11. I can't remember, whatever. I went looking, and I was with my brother who's older, and he was actually going to rent it from me. And the guy at the counter was like, "What are you looking for?" I was like, "E.T., sir." You know, he's like, "That's a good movie." He goes, "But," he went and grabs the VHS cassette. He goes, "You ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?" And he holds it up to me. I'm like, "No. Holy cow, what is this?" You know? And I looked at my brother, and he's like, "I'll rent it for you if you want." I'm like, "Okay." And I went in my basement and I watched it by myself on a VHS machine. I just sit on a VCR and just watch it, and it changed my life forever. Oh, I never felt emotions like that before. I was, I was. This is something I cover a lot, but why horror? Why do you like horror so much? And I always tell people it's that chemical reaction of being scared. Okay. And the best is when you're watching a movie and your eyes are you're behind the counter, your covers, you're just like this, and then the jump scare happens, right? And immediately you're like, "Oh, Jesus, oh." And then a smile happens. A smile happens 99.9% of the time, unless you're in tears and you run away, right?
Oh, like this.
So yes. But even then, you're like, you're having a good time by being scared, right? Same with the haunted house. Why do we go to haunted houses and have people chasing us all the time? And the whole time you're crying, your tears are coming out, but you have a laugh, you have a smile on your face. No other movies can really do that to you. I mean, take you from the highs, the lows, the dread, that jolt that goes in your body. I'm addicted to it. That's my crack or whatever kids are smoking these days. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, the
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre was my first movie. Actually, yes, my parents took me to the drive-in and we watched it. I was really young, probably about 8, I would say, and. Yeah, I mean, the nightmares I had afterwards.
I bet. I was going to say, 8-year-old? Yeah.
Totally.
So she had me watch all these movies when I was quite young. And then the only one that gave me nightmares was 13 Ghosts. It was what was the person with the cage around that? Do you know
that was the jackal.
Yeah, the jackal. That was the only one that gave me nightmares. Otherwise, I could watch anything and everything.
That was a great movie, by the way. Which I love because, my first real
storyline.
Oh, it's a great story. In fact, I wish they would do spinoffs on all those characters.
I wish they would have. I know there was supposed to be like a series, and I don't know if they did anything with that, but I think that would have been like amazing, like on each ghost.
I think it'd be great. I think you could totally do a spinoff movie on each one of them, and I'm going to pay to watch them all. It's all. My thing was. Once I got into that, I was like, okay, I'm into this world. And immediately my brother was, he was going on a date, right? My older brother, man, hats off to you, man. He had to drag me along a lot, right? So my mom was like, oh, you're going to the drive-in? Cool, take your little brother. And he's right. So he takes me, they parked, it was a truck. I never forget. It was winter time and November, which East Coast, that's cold, or whatever. And we're watching this. And watching he turns the thing around. Him and his girlfriend are in the front. I'm in the back. Fine, whatever. And it was a movie called Friday the 13th Part 3. I'm like, Part 3. I missed the first 2. I didn't know I'm watching history being made. Right. I got my little 3D glasses on. They're all crooked. I'm like, it's a horrible 3D movie. But it was the first time Jason got his mask. Now you could take that mask down to deep dark Africa. Doesn't matter, anywhere. Someone's going to say either Friday the 13th or Jason Voorhees. No matter where you go in this world, that is the most iconic thing ever, right? And I got to see that live. I say live in real time, being played out on the screen. But at the time, you didn't know. You're like, okay, this is some weird killer with a hockey mask. Sounds great. But now I look back at those times and little tears come in my eyes. I'm like, I can't believe I was there for the ground floor of these things. So I love movies like that. I love slashers. I've been a slasher fan my whole life. My big thing, I always say the 3 B's, boobs, blood, and bad acting. I'm there. If you got that, I'm going to watch it. Okay. That's just how it is, right? As an 80s kid. Right. But there's tons of different subgenres. So when someone comes to me and I'm new to this world, get me into it. What do I watch? Look, I can destroy you. I can literally tell you, hey, go watch Terrifier or go watch Cannibal Holocaust. And then you'll never be a horror fan ever again. You're going to go away, right? You got to ease people into it, So I have a good list of things like Poltergeist and stuff like that you're going to slowly start working.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's going to get you even more excited. Like, okay, that was fun. I made it through that. And then you can self-pace how in depth and detailed and hardcore you want to go, So, but I've seen people get stirred the wrong way. Hey, yeah, go watch Human Centipede. No, don't watch Steven Sinclair.
No, I watched that when I was pregnant, and it was the worst
Oh,
experience
God.
of my entire life. And
Yes,
I'm completely sorry for that. Like, people talk about paranormal trauma. I'm talking about movie trauma here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would
Then
do it
my
to you.
sister's like, watch the second one. I'm like, no, never.
They keep getting worse. They keep getting worse.
I learned my lesson, and I'm good. Okay, so I have a question. What is the most haunted object you own in your entire collection?
It's got to be Dazana. It's got to be my doll, Dazana. Now, those who have been there, I know you have, right? I know. So we have this doll, and let me back up. I have dealers all over the world that I say they contact me when I contact them because they want money. All right, so it's always like, I got something for you, So, or I get an email. Well, I have this guy that's in Whitby, England. In fact, Whitby, England is, if you ever read Dracula, it's where Dracula actually landed, right? When he went to England. Okay. So there's a guy there. He's a great oddity shop. And so he hits me. I've been buying this for this guy for about 5 years or so. And he hits me up and he goes, Jason, I do the accent, but I do a horrible British accent. So I'm just going I'll do the American version. And he goes, Jason, I got a doll for you. And I'm like, I bet you do. Okay, what do you got? And he's trying to sell me something. He goes, no, mate, this is a little bit different. He goes, I've had this doll for a while, and I have a medium in my shop that works in his shop, and she won't come back. She's been gone for 2 weeks. And she's like, until you get rid of this doll, then I'll come back. And I'm like, well, I'm interested now, So what's the history behind it? So it was pulled out of a place called Bosnia. And, a lot of people don't really know this side. It was actually former Yugoslavia. And in the early 90s, there was a big war, the Bosnian War, right? It was fought between, three different nations actually fought against it, but it doesn't matter. It was a very horrific war, and a lot of humanitarian relief had to happen. So this was in Sarajevo, where refugees were there and whatever. And I guess relief workers or something from England were coming down and helping, and they were taking these kids back, like the orphans and all that stuff, back to England. Well, one of the kids had a doll, and it wasn't her doll. She kept saying this was Dazana, this was blah, blah, blah. This was a doll, supposedly, and once again, this is what I've heard, from a girl that was killed in a bombing and all that stuff, but she kept the doll. The other friend kept the doll. They took it back. They eventually ended up in this, through the years, this is obviously in the 90s, and it worked its way into this guy's collection. And so now he says, this doll is insane. He's like, Jason, I don't want it. You can have it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not as sensitive, right? So it takes a lot for me to feel stuff. So I was like, sure. And he actually shipped it to me for free. Nothing. I didn't charge nothing. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the doll. So I remember it came out of customs, and I opened that box. She was face up, and I made immediate eye contact with her. I closed that thing. I was like, I had a hair stand up on my hair on my body. I'm like, something is not right with this doll. And so I was like, I need to glass her, and I need to do some rosaries. I need to do something, get her blessed and all that stuff. And so I have. If you've been in our Audie's tomb, she's got her own little section. Her case, she is covered head to toe, and you name it. Whatever, all the stuff that we need. I have people come in and do all this stuff. Anyway, but wow, the amount of, I guess, drama that this doll causes. I probably have 40 plus testimonials on my phone here of just people that would DM me going, help. First off, I stared into Dazana's eyes, and I'm here. In fact, I'm going to look this up. I'll do one testimonial for you here as I'm talking. But she, oh my God, it's scary. It's not to the point now where people will take pictures of her. God, I need to send this to you. And whether it's a regular cell phone or the eyes will blank out. Nothing. Yeah.
Or they'll blink. Or they'll blink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super scary. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to. I'm one of those guys like, do you say hi and goodbye when you get into? I do to her. I am the nicest person to her because this stuff, like I said, let me find you a one of these testimonials here.
Is she like Robert the Doll level?
I don't think she's quite that.
Yeah.
Quite like Robert, but she is quite, She demands respect. She likes me. She does like me because I was very respectful to her.
Oh, really?
And if you're totally respectful to her, she almost smiles at you.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
do you know what? If I was a spirit, I would want some respect too.
Right. Absolutely.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of respect, listen to this. Okay. So this right here, this is one of many. I got tons of these. And I forgot, this is my favorite one because we had a kid, I say kid, 20 some years old. That's a kid to me. I'm old. He was in the store and he kept telling me, I'm a photographer. You know what? You should hire me, man. I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm great. I'm like, oh, okay, great. It was a Saturday. It was filled. Anyway, he goes into the audience tomb. About 20 minutes later, he leaves. He goes, oh, by the way, I had a staring contest with the sauna. I'm good. And I'm like, oh, good luck. Okay, whatever, and he leaves. About 3 days later, I get a DM. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read this to you. Hey, my name is Victor. I was at Terra Trader last weekend. I was the photographer you're all talking to. Anyways, I want to give you an update on the whole staring contest with the dog. Real long, right? I couldn't sleep for about 4 days straight. I didn't have the dream, which a lot of people, the dream that the care workers had, I guess it was continuous or consistent between all of them. They passed the doll was this, like, was having little girl voices or whatever, having this little doll kind of haunt you in your dreams, whatever. But he goes, I didn't have the exact dream, but I had constant anxiety attacks in the middle of the night. Like someone was watching over me, or that feeling like you're getting ready to get hit kept happening when I closed my eyes. And he goes, I'm pretty sure I heard my name called one morning from a creature mimicking a little girl. Oh, by the way, I live alone. Anyway, and then he's like, now things are getting back to normal. How do I fix this? And so everyone wants to know how to fix it. And I go, well, you can fix it by not talking shit to the doll in the first place. That usually solves the problem, right? So,
Exactly.
but I have tons of these. And then, so whether I tell people, I'm like, whether you believe in the paranormal or not, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's like the whole FAPO thing, right? You're going to mess around and find out, right? And I'm trying to be PC here. But that doll is giving us the most drama, the trouble. And then, like I said, from investigations and all that stuff, it's like she puts out some heat. People's hair gets ripped up, people get touched, people get scratched, all types of stuff. And
I kind of love that for her. Like, I think that's kind of like iconic.
This is the doll.
Totally. And
yeah.
Honestly,
Mom just showed me a picture of the doll. Yeah, it's a little creepy.
This is, I don't know if everybody can see this. This is the doll.
There you go.
Pam sent me because she was saying,
don't stare at her eyes.
So,
but that kind of behavior was the behavior that with the doll Meredith that I had the encounter with, and she was kind of like a little bit sassy like that,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's malicious. I don't know. I mean, once again, you look at a war-torn doll, I always say, who's probably seen, if anybody studies or looked up the Bosnian War, very, very ugly. It was kind of, the militaries broke down. It was basically street-to-street fighting through thugs and street gangs and just territory, tribal type of stuff. And a lot of civilians died. And it was, so a lot of drama and trauma happened in a short period of time. So I think the energy that was transferred into this doll, and then how is it not? You can just feel this thing, and you with the aura around this doll, and don't get me wrong,
when you walk in the room.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I get people bringing me haunted dolls. So a lot of people surrender stuff to me all the time, right? And so I probably get a haunted doll once every 2 weeks, to be honest. And I get every single one of them investigated because I'm not a paranormal investigator. I've been part of 40 to 50 different ones. But I never claimed to be one. So I always bring in experts, right? I bring in people who can actually do this. And I get every doll investigated. About 1 out of 5 probably has some heat to it. Yeah. The rest, there's probably other instances that happen in this other person's life, and they just think that this doll is causing them drama, So,
next time they get a haunted doll, to send it to you.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We're here for.
Okay, that's good to know for future reference.
Yes, yes.
Because I like to collect objects.
And then Jason's going to call me, and I'm going to say, why didn't you just send it to me? And then I could give it to Jason verified.
I don't think I would wish that evil upon anyone, to be honest.
Right.
I know. No kidding.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he also gets Ouija boards too. He's got. Sorry, the dog is crying.
That's
but
really
yeah,
cool.
he gets Ouija boards too, and he has those up on the wall. So I always like going in and seeing what new Ouija boards he has.
So Elaine and I are going to the Witchboard Museum when we're in Salem. She is, of course. God, I don't get left out. Okay.
Yeah, I probably have about 30 to 35 vintage Ouija boards. I think that the most recent one I have is probably from the 40s. Everything else is sub 1940s, all the way down. My earliest one's 1898. One of the very first Ouija boards models ever put out. There was a model a little bit before that, in the 1890s, but I had the second model that came out, which looks exactly the same. This the spacing is a little different, so you can never tell, right?
Do you know who you should talk to is John?
Oh yeah.
Or Karen.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, or Karen Dahlman. Yeah. They're from the Ouija board society in Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah.
I would love that. I mean, I'm a diehard, and I look for the Ouija boards. I don't want clean ones. I want stuff pulled out of people's basements or out of the attics. I want scribbles on them. I want people writing on them. I want all that stuff. So I love that stuff. And like you said, just like you said, we get stuff donated to us. And I have one Ouija board. You know, I do my research on Ouija boards. Obviously, I want to know what the hell I'm talking about, and I like to educate people. But the best part was, so one day, this older couple comes in, 60s baby, and she had a pillowcase that you zip up, and she's like, here, and just gives it to me. I'm like, oh, what the hell are you giving me, right? I'm like, okay, it feels hard in a board. So I unzipped this pillowcase, and it's right there at the counter. I have a video. In fact, I could have probably put it up anyway. And I open the pillowcase, and I'm like, I immediately shut it. I zip it, and it's a Ouija board that's been waterlogged and burnt. And I go, these are the worst two things you could ever do to a Ouija board if you're trying to destroy a Ouija board. I go, and I try to explain to her, there's a way you got to cut it in 7 pieces. You got to bury it face down. You know, and she was like, I don't give a shit. I was like, okay. She goes, you're taking this? I'm putting it in the trash can outside. I'm like, no, I'll take it. I go, what's the story though? Why are you trying to burn and round this Ouija board? And to make a long story short, I tell anybody to come to our Audie's tomb and read it. I have little placards up. But to make a long story short, she says a perfect life at one point. Husband, 2 kids, things are great. Her mother brought from New Hampshire, and they moved out here. I think it's New Hampshire, one of those New England states. Not Salem, Mass. That'd be a cool story, but that's not true.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I could try to beef it up a little bit like that, but I won't do that to you guys. And they cleaned out her mom's stuff and this Ouija board, and it was a 1970s Ouija board. So back when the Parker Brothers stuff, right? You know, when it started becoming really, in fact, those that don't know, Ouija boards used to outsell Monopoly sets. You know, back in the day. So everybody had these at one point. It was a very trendy thing. Well, I don't know what happened to her Ouija board, but according to her, as soon as she brought this Ouija board in her life, everything went wrong. Her husband and her got divorced, and then her husband died 2 weeks later in a car crash. Her son, straight A student, just 180 turn, started doing drugs. This and that. Same with her daughter. Everybody just went to shit, right? And so she thought this was it. So she hired a medium or brought in a medium to seal the board, right? And the medium ended up saying, I'm going to take this from you. And she's like, good, take it. So she takes it, right? She says almost a decade later, her son recovered, doing good. He was actually a storage unit guy. He buys storage units that people don't pay, right? And flips them. Well, according to her, guess what storage unit he got out of New River, which is a town just north of Phoenix. According to her, it's the exact same board, and it came back into her life. And she freaked out and immediately tried to burn this thing with fire. It wouldn't catch fire. She tried to submerge it in water overnight. It just didn't waterlog and fall apart like she wanted. And then Terror Trader was step 3. So I was like, okay, this is crazy, but I believe you. So we actually have that glass encased, just in case, up on our walls. I'm not quite sure if there's any drama with it. I don't know. You know, once again, Ouija boards, some people, you know, what do you believe? Do you believe just the board itself can actually manifest something, or do you have to start working it? You know, I don't know. But either way, I'm not going to give it a chance. I glassed it, and no one's touching it. So I don't need to hurt anybody else, you know, like that. So, but yeah, we get some crazy stuff like that all the time, and I love it. You know, I mean, stuff will be dropped off. A week ago, there was like a toy soldier set, probably from, I would put it in the 1960s, 1970s, like a World War I toy soldier set, sitting outside a door. A note slapped on and said, cursed, good luck. And I still have the actual note and everything. I haven't put it in the Audie's team yet because I want to get investigated. Because everything comes in, I want to get investigated. But I'm like, oh, here we go, you know. And my manager's just like, Jesus, like, you want to come down? I'm like, no, you're good. So pretty crazy stuff. But we, you know, it's always something fun like that when we walk in on a Monday or on a Wednesday when we open up, and who knows what you're going to get, you know. So
sounds like Jonathan in at Salem.
Yeah. All of a sudden he walks in.
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff
at the door.
I will do I have never done a Ouija board session at Territory. A lot of people ask me to, and I'm like, look, you guys can go ahead. If you one, I don't know if you know what you're doing, but two, you leave. I got to stay here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're bringing in, you know, or whatever. Exactly. So I haven't, you know, and I'm not saying I won't. Maybe one day, but we'll do it like live stream or something. We'll do a Ouija session or something. But it's a thought. It's gonna be fun. You know, I want to do that. I want to do a seance. I haven't done a seance at a proper seance at the Terror Trader. So look, we got a lot of stuff to explore still, you know, so like it's crazy, you know, it's and we're actually getting ready to expand our Oddies tomb. No one really knows this yet, but we have a big convention coming up. Actually, you see it, Gathering the Ghouls. We got a big convention coming up here in 2 weeks at the Mesa Convention Center. I'm just plugging it real quick. August 22nd, 23rd, the biggest horror party of Arizona. No, it's gonna be a really good time. So, but after that convention, the Gathering the Ghouls, we're gonna shut down Terror Trader for a week, and we're reshuffling. We're gonna do a whole new store layout, everything, 100%. The side where the Oddies tomb's at, well, once again, I just can't sit still. I bought a medieval torture museum. I don't know why. Anyway, long story short, but this is like legit stretch racks. I mean, just the most macabre. Now, a lot of them are remade, right? Obviously, the racks. What's that?
When did you buy this?
I just bought this about 3 months ago. It's all in storage right now. I have 2 storage lockers filled with them. If I didn't pay my bill and someone actually got that storage locker hunter thing, good luck, man. They're gonna be like, "Holy shit, just close that door," because it is some wild stuff, right?
I think I would cry.
Yeah, right. So we're actually going to shut down that side of the store for about a month, and we're going to 100% make a walkthrough torture / Oddies macabre museum. It's going to be. I'm going to expand my Oddies tomb. I have about almost a whole nother tomb worth. So it's going to get bigger, and then you're going to walk through some crazy torture museum stuff. We're going to have it open by October 1st. Starts our 5-year mark, our 5-year anniversary at Terror Trader and all that stuff. So a lot of stuff's coming, but I have some stuff that I've been waiting to show the public. That
we're going to have you on again for you to tell us all about it.
Some of this stuff's going to drop some people. They're going to be like, nope, I'm leaving. I'm not going to anywhere near this stuff. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for it. It's a big deal to do for us, but we're going to shut down a week, reshuffle that side of the store, reback and open up. And then eventually in about 2 more weeks after that, that side will open up and it'll be a whole fresh new store and all that stuff. So we got some stuff. We're going to melt some faces with this. So
I love it.
That'd be cool.
He has these clowns. I have to say, he's got these clowns that are pretty creepy. Every time I go in and see those clowns, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go this direction here.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
right there.
We actually caught, Jason, did Misty tell you, sorry, Puppyville here. Did Misty tell you that when we were investigating that night, we actually picked up on a figure in the glass. He had a glass case where, you remember that back room we were in?
Yes.
In the left towards the front?
Yes.
There was a glass case that you had some purses, I think, in there. And she caught on video. She was just doing like some B-roll and she actually panned over. She caught somebody walking by and it was nobody that was within our group.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. She should.
Look, we get that not only in Audie's tomb, but on we sell at the south side where the killer clowns are at and all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
That side right there is notorious for I call it the brown coat man, right? It was, and I say that because that's the description that multiple people that don't know each other, I don't know why I'm doing my weird hand stuff here, that don't know each other, that have described the same person. And in fact, I have it actually, if you go to, once again, our YouTube, go to there's a playlist called Paranormal Activity. I thought it was kind of funny to put it. Anyway, but it's a playlist of all my security cam footage, all the stuff that I can't alter this. This is what happens after hours and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I invite people to watch. Well, one of them was one of our vendors. His name is Franco. He's a skeptic, big time skeptic. But he loves the horror stuff, but he's just like, I don't believe any of it. So he'd always laugh when he hear people tell stories. Well, you watch him one day, we back up. He comes in one day and he goes, dude, and I'm sorry, I'm talking just like he always says it. He's like, dude, I think I saw something. I'm like, what happened? Someone stealing? I don't know. He goes, no. I went to my booth and he goes, I was fixing my booth and out of the corner of my eye, there's no one else on that side. I look and I saw a brown coat guy, like kind of drift into a back room. And I'm like, no one here has brown coats. He goes, and immediately when I stood up, one of my figures in my booth flies into my arms. And I'm like, sure. Yeah. I was like, sounds good, Franco, right? And then he starts feeling sick. And he's like, I got to get out of here. I feel nauseous. And he leaves. I'm like, what is he doing? Is he trying to act or something? Because I know he's a big skeptic. And so I'm like, well, the one eye doesn't lie, I always say. I got the camera in the sky, right? So I go to the camera. And yes, you can see this. Now you can go to our YouTube and see it. You see him working and stuff. And all of a sudden, he stops and stands up. And he looks, and he just stares at a corner for a while, and then he's like, okay. And as soon as he turns around, a figure jumps off into his hands. You can't make it up. There's no wall behind. There's a wall behind. There's nothing you can do. And you see him put it back, and he's like, oh, hell no. And he walks out. And that's when I start talking to him. So this hurt. And before I even said anything, because hey, it happens in my store, I'm going to exploit it. I'm just going to tell you right now. If I got camera footage, we're going to throw it on Instagram. We're going to watch this stuff, right? Because everybody loves to see this stuff, right? Before I got a chance to do that, we had someone else go in there about, say 3 or 4 days later, tell me the exact same thing. I saw a dude in a brown outfit, and he walked by. I'm like, wait a minute. I go, do you know Franco? He's like, who? And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. And another guy tell me the exact same thing. So multiple people will say, so that may have been him. That may be that shadow, because a lot of activity happens on that side. I don't know why. And I don't know. I always tell people too, I'm like, I don't think our building's haunted. I mean, it's a strip mall, I think the stuff we bring in has some attachments, and they're living and having fun in our little 6,000 square foot, whatever, mausoleum, I guess you want to call it. So, and once again, we have 75 vendors, and a lot of them are oddity stuff, right? And so they're bringing all types of crazy stuff, that I'm like, I don't know what this is, but this looks haunted, it's one of those type of things. So you never know. So maybe we haven't had any drama with the brown coat guy probably in about 6 months. So maybe he's gone. I don't know, but for the longest time, yes, that was an issue at Terror Trader. And
well, it was wild. Yeah, well, he was. I mean, it was wild because we put it through like several different filters, and and it was like we had accounted for everybody that was there where they were, and most everybody was in the room where you had a little table set up for us. So it was like there was literally nobody there. It was just her panning. We tried to debunk it with light. We went through it. It's like we cannot debunk it.
Yeah. I love that that's one thing I love is you try to debunk it, right? Coming from a guy who, like I said, I'm not a sensitive. I don't really feel things. I got to see things, right? And so I'm the same way. I'm always like, listen, if something flies off the shelf, which happens quite often, by the way. In fact, I got 2 videos I got to still post that happened from last week. This stuff just flying off the shelf for no reason. But I'm always like, all right, where's the scientific explanation? Was it wind? Was it the air conditioning?
Right.
Was it this? Was it that? But when you're pushing a 5-pound snow globe off a shelf, like it flies 5 feet off a shelf, when there's no one near it, how do you explain that? You can't explain it, So then I lean toward the paranormal. I'm like, that's why I believe the paranormal exists. I think that's why there is a spirit, or there's something out there that whether people are trapped in or whatnot. Because a 5-pound snow globe, once again, that's another video you can see on our thing. It launches. Yeah, I couldn't even do that with a string. I don't even know how you do that. So how do you explain it? And that's just one of many things. Cases exploding, just literally glass cases shattering. It's just stuff. Anyway, tons of stuff like that happens, and I'm like, there's got to be something else, right? I know for a fact I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. to go sneak into my store to poke something off the shelf. I'm too lazy. I always tell people, you're not going to get that from me, because I get like, oh, you're just trying to sell stuff and make people scared. No, come in and check out yourself. You know me. I just hang out and watch you guys, and see what happens.
Yeah, come at your own risk. explore it yourself.
Well, like I said, the Dazana doll, I mean, it was wild. I was doing the Estes Box session and my back was to her and I'm blindfolded and I had the Estes Box, the SB7 going with the earphones on. And I literally felt like somebody touched my head. And I'm like, and I thought it was human. I really did, because I thought it was one of my team members. I'm like, someone's touching my hair or someone's touching my head. And literally you see they had the camera and the camera shows like my hair going up like that.
Which is crazy. That was nuts. That was crazy. Yeah, when you guys do that the Estes method, what is it called?
That's it. Yeah. So you blindfolded and you have the headphones on and you're just listening to the SB7 Spirit Box, which is basically it's flipping stations and talking. And I think we actually got like, somebody asked the question, did you touch Colleen's head? And a little girl's voice came out and said, I did, like that. Yes. So it was like really bizarre. It was like, somebody touched your hair.
I finally got to do that. I watched you guys do that. And finally I'm like, and a good friends of ours, East Valley Paranormal came in. And I was like, I kind of want to try this. Right. Yeah. They're like, go ahead. And I didn't understand. Now I do that. You cut off all your well, not all your senses, but most, your two main senses, hearing and eyesight. And whoa, that was a trip. I recommend that to anybody. If you ever do a ghost hunt, paranormal investigation, you get a chance. It's a game changer. Because I was saying stuff, I didn't know what questions they were asking. Right. I'm just repeating what I heard. And then when I watched the film back, we had a conversation. They were asking, I was answering questions from them, and I'm like, wait, no way, that actually happened, but it did, and it was so crazy. So that is a wild, and you just feel different after. You just feel, like you said, everything in my body was just tingly and weird, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. It's crazy.
It's a wonderful experience in the sense of being able, like, you're basically communicating with them. It was wild, So
it's insane. I love what you guys do. I love watching you all work. It's amazing, because, and even when things aren't moving, right? It's like, I don't know if it's you guys are a beacon or what, because you'll go. I see people go for an hour or two, just keep trying, and nothing's happening, and then out of nowhere, we made someone mad, or someone's decided to play, and it's just it just flows. And I'm just like,
I always feel like if someone has abilities, you're kind of like a lighthouse.
Yeah.
It kind of helps getting more like activity because it's a little bit amplified, because they're like, hey, someone can finally talk to me,
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, precisely. That's why they say like the Estes Box sessions or the method is actually very successful with mediums, psychic mediums, because mediums are able to shut down, almost go into a trance-like state. Yeah. And then be able to like just hear the voices, and I try really hard when I do it. I try to like discern if it's a male voice. I try to say male voice, female voice, child's voice, or something like that. I tried really hard to try to do that.
You guys, I've turned more skeptics into believers by just bringing. So a lot of times, like once again, we have a lot of investigations and want to come in. I invite anybody, come on, have fun, because I'm learning from you guys, right? But sometimes you're like, who's with Jason? I'll bring a friend. Right, and it's usually a skeptic, and I'm like, hang out with me tonight, and let's just watch.
You did. You had somebody there that night that we did.
I did, because I want. I'm always like, tell me how stupid you think this is, and every single person we've done are like, what the hell, dude? I can't believe. I'm like, I told you. I'm like, I'm not kidding. I go, there's stuff going on here, and it's so cool because we're turning, like I said, skeptics into believers all the time, and the only way to do that is to witness it yourself, be part of this thing, and we had such a great time with you guys. It was so fun. It was just amazing. So I really enjoyed that one. One of the better investigations we've had there, by the way. So
we want to come back too. We want to come back for sure.
Yeah. So
no, she's right. It's an energy thing. Energy attaches other energies, no matter what the transformation it goes. It's true.
Yeah. Well, I love the people who can actually do questions on here. This is good. That's really cool. But no, it's wild. So, and I think the stuff we're getting ready to add and expand is just going to make it even more.
I can't wait.
And it's going to be really even more fun. We did our first overnight investigation recently, and it was wild.
I bet.
It was sleeping at Terror Trader is a different experience itself.
I was going to say, probably you can't sleep.
It was. Tell you the truth, it was hard. It was almost impossible. It was, and a lot of stuff happened. And like I said, when the investigators put themselves in different rooms and they slept through the night and all that stuff. So everybody filmed each other, and it was wild. Even to the point where I feel bad. Alex LeMay was one of the girls that was coming doing the investigating. She's so cool, really good person. She's like, I'm going to sleep on the floor, and I'm like, well, good luck, because we're positioned next to a Chinese restaurant, and occasionally there's little critters that come through our store, right? I say it adds to the experience. And all of a sudden, middle of the night, about 3 a.m., you hear this guy screaming and kind of like, oh my god, what the hell? Get up! And a big ass cockroach like that big was. I was like, so if it's not the ghost, you're going to get something else. So I apologize.
I think I would scream more over that than a ghost.
Yeah, it was huge and terrifying, by the way. But I'm like, you're going to get all types of stuff here. So anyway,
I think that's
so good.
Intriguing.
Bring a cot next time, if you want to spend.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Bring some bug spray. Spray yourself first.
Yeah. Occasionally we get that. At night, a lot of things happen there. So who knows, So.
Instead of like a circle of protection, you're like doing a circle of bug spray.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, Jason, plug the store in again, the address where it's located at.
What was that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Oh, tell us where the store is. Plug the store and
store,
the address and everything.
I got
website.
Thank you, Marine Corps. Okay, guys. So Terror Trader, first off, all right. It's Arizona's home for horror. We're right there in Chandler, Arizona, on the border of Mesa. You're close. We're like a street up from Mesa, but it's easy to find us. We're off a highway, guys. It's so fun to come by. We're open all year round. And like I said, in September, it'll be a whole new store. Come by and check it out. 941 West Elliott Road, or just Google us and we pop up. But if you are in Arizona and you're looking for something really fun and spooky to do, then come to the Gathering of the Ghouls. It's August 22nd, 23rd at Mesa Convention Center. Basically, it's 50,000 square feet of Terror Trader, but we add horror celebrities. And for those who especially like horror movies, those are the ones coming. We're bringing Doug Jones in. If anybody's seen Obsession yet? Obsession, we got one of the stars from Obsession coming in. Cooper Thomason's coming in. Of course, our favorites like Felissa Rose is coming. We got one of the original cast from It coming in. Emily Perkins, who played Beverly. All types of fun stuff. Plus, tons of photo ops. I'll walk through haunted house. Guys, it is the best thing ever. If you like horror, that's where you need to be in August. And it kicks off the spooky season, right? It's kind of hard here in Arizona because October feels just like August. It's like it's a little rough. So we really got to mentally get into the mood, and that's why we put this convention. Everybody's like, why did you do it in October? I'm like, because we need a kickstart. We need to get people in the mood, right? October, you're already in the mood, So like when Spirit Store's popping up, everybody starts seeing code oranges. That's when we strike. We strike hard right there, and right in August, and we get everybody in a spooky mood all the way to January. And then from January to February, I got to figure other stuff out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's good though. So check that out. But like I said, if you love horror and you want to support local vendors, which is a big thing. I mean, almost 90% of all our vendors are Arizona based. We have a few that are out of town, one from Colorado, one from New Mexico, but they're great people as well. So come in and support, local vendors just trying to make a good living, and have some fun. Enjoy it. Take as many pictures. You want to do a ghost hunt, talk to me. Let's roll. I'm here for it, Me staying after hours at Terror Trader, okay, threaten me with a good time. I'm always there after hours. I enjoy this place, so.
Well, we Arizona. We have
there a few times. I love the store, so.
If we come visit you now, you know where we have to go.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. We'll do it fun. We'll do a good investigation. We'll have a great time. We'll make it spooky. We pop on all the lighting. That's one thing I like to do is we could just shut off all the lights, but I like my little mood lighting, so it just looks spooky in there no matter what. All the monsters are underlit, so you're walking by. I notice people by themselves sometimes they'll walk by certain monsters faster than others. I'm like, you're smart. I love it.
Don't probably be me because I'm kind of sensitive to haunted objects and stuff. So you'll probably see me go, I'm good.
Yes, I hope so.
In front of it and just kind of look at all corners and everything, and just kind of like, okay, talk to me. What's your story?
Okay, so Jason, before we let you go, I was big by a spirit, so now I'm like, I think I'm good.
Oh.
Once someone crawl up to you and pet you like a dog, you're like, I'm fine. I'm good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it.
Worry. Otherwise,
well, I
I'll be
welcome
wearing
you guys to
the
come. I can't wait to see you guys. I mean, one, come to Arizona. It's beautiful half the year, and well, we got great to see. So no matter what,
End of November, December, January, February, and part of March is like the best part. But
hey, well, you guys are shoveling snow. We're shoveling sunshine, right?
That's right. Exactly. You gotta come here when it's snowing.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's where we need to go is this winter.
Yes,
absolutely. Really. Good times to be there. So sounds good, guys. Well, hey, thanks for having me on. By the way, this was fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, this is so much fun.
Hey, if you're ever looking for someone to come on and just talk for an hour straight and not give you guys any chance to talk, bring me back on. Because that's what I do.
Perfect. Well, we want to hear about the next phase of when you get that all set up. We want to have you back so you can talk to us about that.
Anytime.
And then if
anytime.
you come and visit, we'll have to talk about it all in front of everyone. So.
Maybe we do a show there. Why not? Let's maybe we can do a live right there. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I think your audience would love that.
On TikTok too. So
and big shout out to Patty, who says I'm excited to gather the ghouls. That's what I'm talking about, Patty. And we'll see you there.
Best friend. She's so funny. I love her to death. She was with me when we went to the God, why can't I think of it? The one where I came and talked to you.
Christmas December?
No, it was the one at Mesa Art Center, or that other one. The other the Gotham? Not Gotham. Why do I keep saying Gothic? The Gothic Market.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. There's so many markets now.
I know. We came after the Gothic Market to your store because it's right down the street. And it was amazing how many people walked in that were part of the Gothic Market that came into your store afterwards. So it was like a crossover. It was great.
Yeah, it's great. We get a lot of that over. We're only even at like Atlas Obscura and stuff like that. So we had the other day people come up from Mexico City, and they every year they pick a state in the United States through Atlas Obscura and just go visit all the crazy weird spots. And they came. I'm like, wait, we're in Atlas Obscura? Oh, this is great. I didn't know we were in it. So it's kind of neat that people visit us that way and all that stuff. But once again, if you're not, whether you're into horror or scary stuff or not, it's still a fun store just to check out and it's just to spend some time there, and you'll see nothing like it anywhere. Well, not in the state, maybe on the whole West Coast. I don't know. It's we try to be unique like that. So yeah. I'm
not even I never even wanted to go to Arizona, but now I do.
Oh come on, yes. Bring it here. You'll love it, and you'll have a good time. So we'll it's going to be fun, and I will be your personal guide. I got you.
Yeah, well, you have Chinese right next to your store, so I'm like, yes, I'm there.
That's perfect.
Let's do it.
Yeah. You're fine.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Jason, stay behind for just a little bit while we close the show. So, to the audience, jump over to Within the Cauldron, subscribe, like, and share out, and also to Medium Red AZ as in Arizona, to her.com. and to her website as well, and check out Jason. And when you do, tell him that you saw him on Within the Cauldron. So
yeah,
and check us out on Within the Cauldron on TikTok because we have some exciting lives happening in Salem. So we can't wait for that too.
That's next month, starting September 2nd
to 6th. We'll be doing live every day and doing the paranormal.
Okay, cool. So. To everybody, have a great night. Many blessings. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night, everyone.